Good morning. We have discussed till now the theory part of damped vibration and force damped and free damped vibration, and the necessary equations like magnification factor, transmissibility, under damping, over damping, critical damping, and logarithmic decrement. The entire theory part is covered. Only left is with the problems part. We will see in 2-3 classes the problems on damped vibrations, that both free as well as the forced damped vibration. So now let us see one problem on free damped vibration. So look at the data, what it is given. So it is in a single degree of damped vibration system. In a single degree of damped vibration system, a suspended mass of 8 kg makes 30 oscillations in 18 seconds. The amplitude decreases to 0.25 of the initial value after 5 oscillations. Determine the first one is the spring stiffness, the second one is the logarithmic decrement, and the third one damping factor, and last one is damping coefficient. So it is a straightforward problem. Let us see how to solve this problem. This is a straightforward problem. Let us see what is the data given and what is asked. So it is a single degree freedom of vibration with mass of 8 kg. Okay, and it makes 30 oscillations in 18 seconds. 30 oscillations in 18 seconds. Then the amplitude decreases to 0.25 of the initial value, okay, after 5 oscillations. That is, after 5 oscillations, x5 is equal to, it decreases by 0.25 of the initial value. x5 is equal to 0.25 times of x0. So then what is given? Find the four different parameters called stiffness of the spring K, then logarithmic decrement delta, then damping factor zeta, then damping coefficient C. So these are the things you are supposed to find out. Find K, delta, zeta and C. Okay, so he has given 30 oscillations in 18 seconds. 30 oscillations in 18 seconds. This is the data given with a mass of 8 kg. And after 5 oscillations, the amplitude of the fifth one is 0.25 times of x0. This is the data available with us. What is the first one we require? K is needed. So how to get the K? We know natural frequency omega n is equal to root K by m. Omega n is equal to root K by m. Okay. So here what is my requirement is K. So m is known. Omega n can be evaluated. How to get omega n? You know Fn. So what is Fn? 30 oscillations is completed in 18 seconds. So this is 30 by 18 is its Fn. So once you get Fn value, which is 1.67 cycles per second or heads. So this is Fn. Okay. So once you get Fn value, then this Fn value can be calculated with omega n, that is how much it is, 18 once, okay, 18 6 12, is it 30 by 18, how much, 18 12 120, so 6 ones 6 eights, okay, this is okay. So omega n is equal to root k by m, so we can write omega n is 2 pi fn. So 2 pi into fn, what is fn? 1.67. Then you get omega n is equal to 10.67, 10.47 radians per second. So now you can substitute in this basic equation. 10.47 is equal to root k by m, which is root k by 8. So k can be estimated. The value of the k stiffness is equal to 877 Newton per meter. Okay, so that is the first part, k. Then coming to the second part, what is required? Delta. So how to get the value of delta? So we know a relation delta is equal to log x naught by, log x naught by x1. This is from the basic fundamental we have defined delta is equal to log x naught by x1. And you know a relation that is x5 is equal to 0.25 x naught, isn't it? So we can also write x naught by x1 is equal to, so this can be written as x naught by x1 with this is x naught by x1 can be written as x naught by x5 can be written as x naught by x1, x1 by x2, x2 by x3, x3 by x4 and x4 by x5, isn't it? So we can write this is x naught by x5, isn't it? Like x naught into x1 into x1 by x2 into x2 by x3 and all. These are all are equal, which we can write x naught by x1 whole to the power of 5. So x naught by x5 can be written as x naught by x1 whole to the power of 5. Then x naught by x1 is x naught by x5 whole to the power of 1 by 5. So x naught by x5 whole to the power of 1 by 5. So here you can see what is the x naught by x5. So x naught by x1 is required, and here you are aware of it from the basic equation here. X naught by x5, here you can write x5 by x naught is 0.25 or x naught by x5 is 1 by 0.25. So this x naught by x5 is 1 by 0.25 whole to the power of 1 by 5. That is x naught by x1. How much the value of this? The value of this is 1.32. 1.32. Then delta is equal to log x naught by x1. So that is 1.32. So log 1.32, it gives 0.278. So the second part, delta, is calculated, that is the logarithmic decrement by simple relation log x naught by x1. We are given with the value of x5 is equal to 5.25 times of x naught. From there I got this relation, and from the basic fundamentals the definition of this is log x naught by x1 is delta logarithmic decrement. Then x naught by x5 is written like x naught by x1 into x1 by x2, so on. All these values are same. It can be replaced any one of them like x naught by x1. So these are 5 components whole to the power of 5. Then if I rewrite it, x naught by x1 is equal to x naught by x5 whole to the power of 1 by 5, then you get directly this value. Then what is the third one? Zeta. So that is zeta can be written, can be calculated with the equation available with us. Delta is equal to 2 pi zeta by root over 1 minus zeta square. So 2 pi zeta by root over 1 minus zeta square. So you have the value of delta. So what is the value of delta? Delta value just now we have calculated 1.32. So 1.32 is equal to 2 pi zeta by root over 1 minus zeta square. Then square on the both sides, then you get 1.32 square is equal to 4 pi square zeta square by 1 minus zeta square. So here both sides square applied, 1.32 whole square is equal to 2 pi zeta by root over 1 minus zeta whole square. So this is 4 pi square zeta square by 1 minus zeta square. Then 1.32 square into 1 minus zeta square is equal to 4 pi square zeta square. Then rearrange the terms and find out the zeta value. You get the zeta. You get the value of zeta is 0.0442. So that is the next one. And the last one is damping coefficient. So that is C. We know that C is equal to 2m omega n zeta. C is equal to m omega n zeta. We are already having all the information. M is 8, omega n is 10.47 and zeta is 0.0442. So the value of the C, that is the damping coefficient, is estimated 1.4 Newton meter per second. So this is a straightforward substitution problem. With the given data, we get the solutions like stiffness, logarithmic decrement, damping coefficient, okay, and the damping factor, all these values. Simply by writing in the equations which are already discussed in the previous lectures. It is a straightforward problem. Let us see in another problem on free damped vibration. It is given like this. A coil of spring stiffness 80 Newton per mm supports vertically a load of 3 kilonewtons at the free end. The motion is resisted by the oil dash part. It is found that the amplitude at the beginning of the fourth cycle is 0.6 times the amplitude of the previous vibration. Find the ratio of the frequencies of damped and undamped vibrations. So here the data given is like this. The spring stiffness is 60 Newton per mm. So stiffness of the spring. Stiffness of spring. We represent the stiffness of the spring in terms of K, which is given 60 Newton per mm. Then it is suspended vertically with a load of 3 kilonewtons. It is suspended with a vertical load of 3 kilonewtons. So stiffness K is equal to 60 Newton per mm and a load of 3 kilonewtons, that is 3000 newtons. suspended at the free end. The motion is by the dash part. Okay, so it is a damped vibration. It is a damped vibration, and there is no external force component has been given, so it is a free damped vibration. It is a free damped vibration. Okay, and it has been given the data like the fourth amplitude of the vibration is 0.6 times of the amplitude of the previous, that is x4 is equal to 0.6 times of previous means x3. You are supposed to find out the ratio of frequencies of damped and undamped frequency of the vibration. Okay, so our objective is simply finding, that is the ratio of the frequencies of damped, that is omega d by omega undamped vibration. So omega n, fd by fn, or omega d by fn. So this is what it is asked to find out finally. So let us see how to solve this problem. So the stiffness K, I will write Newton per mm into Newton per meter, that is 60 into 10 power 3 Newton per meter. Okay, let us first find out what is the natural frequency of the vibration omega n. We know that from the basic fundamentals, omega n is equal to K by m, which is also equal to root G by delta. In this problem, we don't have the delta value. We have the stiffness of the spring and mass of the spring is there, so that we can find out the natural frequency omega n. So K is 60 into 10 power 3 m, that is load is given, it is given W. Okay, we have to write m W by G, that is 9.81. So if you calculate this value, you get omega n value is 14 radians per second. That is the natural frequency. Then what is the data further given? The fourth amplitude of the vibration is 0.6 times of the previous part. So we know that logarithmic decrement, which is defined as delta is equal to log xn by xn plus 1. This is from the basic fundamentals. We know this delta is equal to log xn by xn1 plus 1 is equal to delta. In the given data, x4 and x3 relations are given. So I can write x3 by x4 is equal to 1 by 0.6. So from the given initial information, I have converted this in this form. X3 by x4 is equal to 1 by 0.6. So now you can see this is in the form of this required one. This is the third one is say n, and fourth one is n plus 1. So this is nothing but x3 by x4 is something same as log xn by xn plus 1. So with that delta can be written as log x3 by x4, which is log 1 by 0.6. So delta, which is a logarithmic decrement, is calculated by this. We get the value is 0.5108. Delta value is obtained. And we know a basic relation from the free damped vibrations. Delta is given by 2 pi zeta by root over 1 minus zeta square. This is from the basic fundamentals, already we have seen in the last lecture. delta is equal to 2 pi zeta by 1 minus zeta square under root. So delta is already known, that is 0.5108 is equal to 2 pi zeta unknown root 1 minus zeta square. Then square on the both sides, 0.5108 whole square is equal to 4 pi square zeta square by 1 minus zeta square. Okay, then arrange the terms and equate to 0. Okay, so then you get the value of the zeta is equal to, zeta value is obtained 0.081. Zeta value is obtained 0.081. So what type of damping if zeta is 0.081? This is an under damping. This is a case of under damping. So yesterday we discussed about the three cases: zeta is less than 1, zeta equal to 1, zeta greater than 1. So you can see here the zeta value is less than 1, which is an under damping case. Then coming to another relation which we have, omega d, okay, is given by 1 minus zeta square into omega n. Omega d is equal to 1 minus zeta square into omega n. So actually in this problem we are supposed to find out omega d by omega n. Okay, so even without getting this value, I can get directly this value also, but I solved it in case if it is asked what is the natural frequency and other parts that you can understood by this procedure. Then omega d by omega n is root over 1 minus zeta square, that is 1 minus 0.081 square. Omega d by omega n, 1 minus 0.081 whole square. So that gives 0.9934. So omega d is equal to 0.9934, okay, of natural frequency. The damped frequency is 0.99 times of 34 omega n. So this is another problem which is solved with the simple substitution of the data. So here what we did is the given data first I have listed out. The stiffness is given, the K value which is 16 Newton per mm, and the load is given 3 kilonewtons, and as per the data availability, if you read the problem, there is no external force further added, so it becomes free damped vibration. So first I have identified the vibration category. Then it is given the fourth cycle, the amplitude is equal to the previous cycle amplitude into 0.6. That is, from the statement I have converted into the equation x4 is equal to 0.6 x3. My objective is to find out the ratio of the damped frequency by the natural frequency, that is undamped frequency, as not stated as what is natural frequency, but an undamped vibration is a one free undamped. So this is free damped, and there is another one called free undamped. So the difference between free damped and free undamped is, in one case there will be a damping and another case there is no damping, but both of them are free vibration. When a free vibration without damping, we call it as a natural frequency. So ultimately what it is asked is the ratio of damped frequency by the natural frequency. For that, the basic equation which I know from the fundamentals, logarithmic decrement, which is given by delta is equal to log xn by xn plus 1. So here the data given one is converted in the equation form, that is x3 by x4 is equal to 1 by 0.6. So this xn by xn plus 1 is replaced by x3 by x4, then I got the value of delta. Okay, once I get the delta value, we have a relation between a delta and zeta that relation has been written here and substituted corresponding zeta, substituted corresponding delta, then zeta is obtained. Then we know that the omega d, that is the damped frequency, is equal to 1 minus zeta square into omega n. So the zeta value is obtained. The obtained zeta value is substituted here. Then we can get the ratio of omega d by omega n, where zeta, which I got 0.99, sorry, this ratio is 0.9934, and I decided this is an underdamped vibration by seeing the zeta value, which is less than 1, 0.081. Okay, so in the next lecture we'll see the damped vibration problems only, but forced damped vibration. This category, what we have seen, the two problems are free damped vibration. That means damping is there, resisting is there, but the external additional force is not given once the vibration has started. So this is one category, free damped vibration, and we will continue in the next lecture, that is forced damped vibration. That means after providing damping, simultaneously external force is also added. That category problems we will see in the next lecture.